Welcome everybody. Really happy that you're taking and participating in this course with UTS and the Education Department at HSA. We're very inspired that you're committing your time to improve the quality of your Sunday service experience locally. And today I'm going to be talking about self-assessment. Self-assessments are a great tool to improve practice, and they've been used in many industries and were pioneered by, ironically enough, the airline industry. The airline industry found that by asking good questions, doing self-assessments and checklists, that they could actually improve safety and performance, a very important thing if you're riding on an aeroplane, right? And this has been featured in a wonderful book I've read by Atul Gawande, and it's called The Checklist Manifesto. So if you're interested in reading, you might find this book interesting. But lots of other industries have benefited from assessments and self-assessment checklists as well. What they discovered in the airline industry is many times people forget to do the things they need to do. So in one particular example they gave in this interesting book, they said sometimes when airplanes are in difficulty and in danger of crashing, the first thing on the checklist is keep flying the plane. Because ironically, people forget to do what they need to do. Now, checklists have been used and self-assessments have been used, of course, in the hospital industry, the healthcare industry, and also in the program industry for family support programs, for instance. I've found them to be incredibly useful because we have a tendency to forget to do the little things, and many times it's the little things that count. So self-assessments are a great way to maintain and improve the quality of implementation, and that's why we're introducing one for Loving Life. Now you should have downloaded already a self-assessment that looks something like this, and I'm going to walk you through it and talk about how to do the assessment. The first thing you need to do, of course, is download it and then sit around together with your leadership team. And I really encourage you to invite other members to join and participate in this process. Perhaps somebody from the congregation, a parent, a young adult. Definitely get a young adult involved. You want to get their perspective. Any stakeholders who are important to measuring the quality of your implementation of Loving Life. Now, I want you to understand that self-assessments, it's not about being measured as good or bad. It's nothing to do with that. It's about having a list of indicators that have been proven or shown to be important in terms of running a quality program, and going through that and having a community conversation. Now, you may find on some indicators, let's just have a look at our list and see, for instance, one of the top ones is ushers and greeters make everyone feel welcome and greet people with energy. Welcome to Loving Life. Now, sometimes it's easy to stop doing that. But when you come together as a community, as a group, and you do the self-assessment together and you go, well, does that always happen? Maybe that only happens some Sundays, or you feel like some Sundays the energy is just not there. And so instead of measuring on as that indicator as being a 5, you may put it down as a 3, because sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. So it's not about being good or bad. It's about having a conversation around how you're doing, with an eye to improving practice. And as you get to know this checklist, you're going to discover, wow, there are some things we just forgot to do. For instance, another one is we hand out mints when we welcome people to church. Well, some congregations do that and some don't. We do it at Loving Life here in New York because it's a way to give to people. Kids love it. Adults love it when you hand out mints. Everyone's breath is fresh. And so it's just a unique and joyful way to welcome people into what should be a joyful experience. We love life and we want everyone to have fun. Some of the other indicators, for instance, young adults are inspired by our experience. Now you're going to have to think, is that always the case? Is it sometimes the case? Is it never the case? And the important thing about this, it's not just about measuring and saying, well, we're doing well or we're not doing well. It's looking at our strengths, but then looking at areas of weakness or areas where we could improve and having a very important conversation around that. So for instance, you might get together, and this is why you need to include young adults in this process, because you need to be asking the right questions. So if, for instance, you marked yourself as a 2 on that, you might say, well, why aren't they having a good experience, and what could we do to give them a better experience? So the whole focus of this self-assessment isn't to, give yourself a grade. It's about having the conversations that you need to have so that you can improve the experience for brothers and sisters, all, in your congregation. I just want to walk you through the self-assessment. The first one, of course, we're putting the indicators under our 5 purposes, which is inspire, empower, connect, and contribute, and inherit. So under connect, for instance, we design signage, parking, and access with the visitor in mind. Why is that important? Because if a new visitor comes, they're not sure where to go. They hesitate, and perhaps then they don't feel comfortable, and they might hesitate even to come in. See, these little things, they're details, but actually God is in the details. So if we want to make a great experience for everybody, details matter. And this checklist means you don't have to remember all of the details. In fact, you probably won't, which is why self-assessments and checklists work. We're encouraging you to use it on a regular basis so you can keep going back. We've tried to indicate things that are important, but we've left under every section lines for you to put in practices that are unique to your congregation that you've identified as important too, so that you can keep on top of your game. So the first purpose, of course, is connect on this particular sheet here. And so you would measure yourself, and you come to consensus on this. You have a community conversation. So some people may say, well, I would only give ourselves a 1 on this, and somebody else may say, well, I think we're definitely a 4. Then through your give and take, you decide to come to some kind of consensus, and you rate yourself. So under Inspire, for instance, we have people respond to the local band's music. Now, you may not have a local band, in which case that would be not applicable, but you measure according to how you can. We have a great setup crew. We make local announcements. So all of these are very specific, as you can see, and it enables you to look at what you're doing and see how well you're doing it. Under Empower, for instance, we've got, we download the Loving Life marketing materials, and it has the website where you can download them from, because again, this enables you to have local quality print materials. Under Contribute, we have visitors are invited to an after party. So if you don't have an after party, it's not a question of, okay, we can't score ourselves on that. Immediately the question comes up, should we have an after party? So you see how useful doing this checklist can be in terms of having useful conversations around practice. And then the last category, the last purpose, of course, is inherit. And that's where we look at things like attendance is increasing. People report a deeper connection. In the last 3 months, new people have joined. So I invite you to have fun together. This is a wonderful process. It creates the most amazing conversations. And you can really get down to the heart of what works, what's important, and how to just improve the quality of everyone's experience at Loving Life next Sunday. So good luck. If you have any questions or challenges around using this tool, please contact us at ministrysupport@unification.org. Thank you very much.